Welcome. Let me just do our opening prayer, and then off we go. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay. Let's dive straight in here. I don't have my cards today, guys, so I'm just going to have to tune in straight to your angels and see what messages they give me. Let's see what's coming up. Sarah Massey saying, hello, Sky. Nice to see you again. Can I have a reading, please? Any messages from my guides? Okay, let's tune in. Okay, so I'm getting your guides are like showing me like a real energy of like confusion, disorganization, like chaos. So I've got Archangel Jophiel coming in really strong here. She wants to help you get organized. So a lot of the parts, let's say half of the world is moving into spring right now, especially over here in the UK, we're starting to end winter, we're starting to move into spring, and there's a real energy of clearing, like spring cleaning the house, cleaning the wardrobes, cleaning out the negative energies from your life. So let's just take a minute and bring Archangel Jophiel in, because she's the angel that helps us clear things. Okay, there we go. So you cannot do everything. Okay, this is just one of those parts of like becoming emotionally and spiritually mature, is understanding that you cannot do everything. Somewhere along the line, most women in their childhood got the message, you can have everything, and got it confused with you need to do everything. And they really struggle with prioritizing or simplifying life. So when we're asking for more, we're expecting God to give us stuff. But actually, what happens is subtraction. Things get taken away to make space for what you're asking for, and so that you have time to take advantage of what it is that you're being asked for. So there we go. Whew. So when we're new at something, right, there's normally this temptation to throw a tantrum and be like, I'm not good at this, so I'm not doing it. Resist the change. So let's just pull away any resistance to change. Any resistance you have to getting organized. Organization means self-respect. It means clarity about what you're manifesting, because it shows you alignment. Because if you have your goals and your calendar is not a reflection of your goals, then you know you're not in alignment, right? Organization requires a deeper level of self-respect, self-clarity, self-awareness, accountability. If your goals are live divine life purpose, build six-figure business, find a soulmate relationship, and your calendar says work 9 to 5 job and go and get drunk on weekends, you know, right, that that's not an accurate representation of your goals. If your calendar says, build a side hustle, be a really present mom to my kids, and your calendar is full of laundry and housework and what's the word, movie nights, and there's no space for you to have time with your kids, and there's no space for you to build a side hustle, it's not an alignment. So your calendar is like your life is a reflection of who you are being, and your calendar, and this is why most people avoid it, is a reflection of your divine action or not, right? So let's take a moment and just clear the resistance to organization and to lack of clarity, because lack of clarity means we don't feel the consequences of our actions. So this is the thing. People are like, oh, if I put something on my calendar, then I don't do it, I feel guilty. Unpopular opinion, but good. You know why that's good? Because you're supposed to anchor pain to behavior that will cause you pain. I'm going to say that again. You're supposed to anchor pain to behavior that will cause you pain. So if you are anchoring pleasure to behavior that is causing you pain, that's called an addiction, right? If you're anchoring pleasure to hookup culture, that's an addiction. If you're anchoring pleasure to Substances like drugs, that's an addiction. If you're anchoring pleasure to things that will cause you pain, right? That's not good. So let's take a moment to release the part of you that is like, in law, we call it willful blindness. It just doesn't want to see, doesn't want to see the part you're playing, doesn't want to take responsibility. Responsibility is something that you rebel against in the beginning and then you thank God. You thank God you took the time to develop it. It's not like intuition. It comes in the beginning, you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this? And how am I supposed to learn this? And how am I supposed to master this? And then once you get your intuition, it's like, holy cow, this is incredible. It's the same thing with organization, with discipline. When it comes, you're like, ah. And then when you master it, it's like, wow. There we go. So the beliefs your angels want to clear, right? People pleasing, believing that it's selfish to follow your dreams and do your life, and instead running around like a headless chicken doing what everyone else wants you to do so that they will like you. So that's number one. Number two, um childhood trauma. Okay, the reason that you're people pleasing is because your inner child is not having a good time, and it was taught that it was selfish to follow its dreams. So you're going to have to go and do some inner child healing. It may even be past life stuff, maybe even be ancestral stuff, but you're going to have to go and do some inner child healing. And I've got Archangel Ariel and Archangel Michael coming in super strong here because they want to help with this. And the other thing they want you to look at is toxic relationships, because some of you are sabotaging your divine life purpose because you're in a toxic relationship. And that's what's sabotaging you getting organized and taking care of yourself, because you get an emotional hit. You get screamed at on a Sunday night and then it's Wednesday. And you've been spaced out and trying not to cry and talking about how your partner or your mom or whatever hurt you for 3 days, and it's just gone. You don't have the energy to be there for anybody else because you're getting emotionally bombed. So that's what they're saying needs to be resolved here. So we're going to let Archangel Raphael do that and Archangel Uriel come in. Okay, that's looking good. Oh, la 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 la. Okay, Shirley saying, hi Skylar, any message from angels and guide about changes I'm facing in the next 3 to 4 months? Okay, let me tune in. Okay, so the numbers 1111, three numbers immediately came in for you. And the message that came in was watch your thoughts, watch your thoughts, watch your thoughts. And they're showing me that you have been doing a lot of clearing, a lot of like transformational work, and you are manifesting really fast. And because you've got some emotional abuse going on, you're like your energy is low. You're going into this heartbreak, into this loneliness, into this bitterness, and it's going to manifest in negative outcomes for these changes. So you want to start saying, only good comes from these changes. God has promised me beauty for ashes. God has promised me that everything I lose will be returned to me. I trust that everything God takes from me, He does not need to build the future and the greatness that He wants for me. So some of you are like holding on to people that are supposed to go. God does not need those people or what they have to offer to build your destiny. You do not need anything that you've lost to become who you're supposed to be. Let's just take a moment to release that grief of letting go of things that really don't serve you. And like a 111, watch your thoughts, watch your thoughts, watch your thoughts, because you're manifesting faster. If you do a bunch of healing work, let's say you go to my medical intuitive mastermind for 6 months and you clear all these people pleasing beliefs, right? And then the day after, you go and hang out with somebody that literally emotionally sucks all your energy out and makes you feel like crap. You're now manifesting faster, and you've just allowed yourself to be filled with toxic energy, and then you're going to manifest a whole bunch of stupid stuff that you don't even want, that's not even your energy. So it's important to stay away from the, as Anna would say, the dream stealers. Stay away from people who don't want you to succeed and who have no intention, right, of clearing up their own side of the road. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Let me tune. Hi, Winston. I love the love heart. Here, saying, hi, Sky. Can I have a reading from my guardian angel? How is it going for me this week? Okay, Angel's Hero. Show me what's coming up for her. Okay, so I'm actually seeing mermaids and children, and there's an energy of joy and playfulness. So your angels are immediately like showing me, like, to say congratulations. You've made more space for joy. You're making more space for allowing good things. Like I can hear laughter in my heart when I'm tuning into you. And like what to work on is they're saying work on the fear, right? Work on the fear, and they call it, and Brené Brown calls it foreboding joy, that something bad's going to happen if you get to be happy, right? You get to be happy. You're worthy of being happy. So let's just bring that in with an instant healing. Okay, that looks good. Okay, Terry saying, hi, madam. Hi, beautiful. I feel so lonely lately. Oh, I miss my parents a lot and I feel so isolated from everyone. What guidance do you get on this? Thank you. Okay. Angels, what do we have for Terry? Okay, so immediately I'm getting Archangel Azrael coming in, and the Azrael is the angel of grief, and they're showing me that you are so afraid of getting hurt that you've isolated yourself. And the loneliness is literally, like you said, it feels like it's killing you. I can see it in your lungs. I can see it in your like it's almost like the back. I can see it in your lungs in the front, but I can see it in your like shoulders as well, like this huge responsibility. It's almost like, you guys know I love Grey's Anatomy, right? So there's an episode of Grey's Anatomy where the lead character says, I've become the person who avoids happy people because I don't want to be like their I don't want to make them feel bad, and I've been unhappy for so long. So can we release the part of you that's avoiding being around people and that is stopping you from letting go of the grief? You are letting go of grief. You're not letting go of your parents. No one can take the relationship, the love that you have away from you. Okay? You're letting go of the grief. There we go. Whew, that one cleared nicely. We're just going to bring in lots of friends and connection for you. Okay, Gabrielle saying, Dear Sky, can I please have some guidance regarding my healing business? Many thanks, Gabriella. Okay, let me have a look. Angels, business angels, what do you want Gabriella to do? Okay, so immediately they're showing me that you are not doing sales. They're just like, they want you to take some kind of sales training. They need you to do some trauma release around knowing the worth of what you do. Because sales is only sleazy when you think you are lying to people, right? If you think that what you're offering, whether it's healing or coaching or a computer program is worthless, then you have to deceive somebody for them to buy, right? To make the sale. If you know that what you are selling, that what you have to give has worth, right? Whether it's a necklace or whether it's a phone or whether it's a healing session, if you know that something has value and somebody turns around to you and goes, "Yeah, that's too expensive," you don't get offended by that. You don't not never sell a phone again. You don't think that you're worthless. You just go, okay, they can't afford the phone, but you know that the phone has inherent worth, right? So that's the healing, is that you need to know that your work has worth, because until you do, nobody is going to give value to your work, and you're going to avoid talking about it, and therefore it's going to be difficult selling sessions, selling programs, and you cannot live on sunshine alone, right? So they're saying you need to take some kind of a selling program and to do some deep clearing on worth. I've got Archangel Uriel coming in actually. So, and there's something about the evil eye, or like the eye of jealousy coming on you. I don't know if we've got like a stalker energy coming on, but there's like a real fear of other people being jealous. So let's just clear that as well. We're going to let Archangel Uriel clear that. Anybody else that wants that, just say yes. And also give you the courage to do this inner child work or your healing work. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, love sunshine. Hello, Sky. Lovely to see you. Any guidance on how to believe more when asking from the universe? Thank you. Okay, so immediately I'm getting Archangel Raziel, who is the angel of the secrets and the mysteries of the universe. And I'm being shown that you meditate on the works that God has already done. So, what our fear mind tends to do is focus on what we don't have and focus on what we want. But what God has you do is focus on the miracles He's already worked in your life. And when you do that, it works, right? In your life and other people's life, your faith increases, because you're like, well, if God raises the dead, if God heals the sick, if God brings me abundance when I'm poor, if God takes care of people, which is that's what God does, that's what God's work in your life are, then your faith becomes a no-brainer, right? It becomes the most obvious thing on the planet. The same way that if you had a friend who had taken care of you and you trusted, and somebody came up to you and said, well, she's betrayed you, you would be like, yeah, no, she hasn't. I know her. She wouldn't do that. And you might ask her about it, but you would doubt the person instead of doubt your friend. When you meditate on God's works, you start to doubt other people before you doubt God. You no longer doubt that God can slay giants and raise the dead and heal stuff and fix poverty and create greatness, that you need to focus on God's works, right? And it can help sometimes to read a biblical text. It can help sometimes to, read books where other people have had God's miracles worked for them or angelic miracles worked for them. But you need to focus on the work that God does, right? The good work, the great work that God does. There we go. And that will naturally start to increase your faith and your belief that good things are going to happen for you. It's one of the best things about the Bible that it says God created humans and then said, this is good, right? Um, so that's the energy you want to focus on, is that this is good. Maria's saying, "Hi, Sky. I've been waking up around 4:30 for the last couple of weeks. Can you give me some clarity on why? Thank you so much." Okay, so immediately your angels are saying to me that they're trying to get through to you. They're trying to talk to you. Um, and there's something you're not listening. There's something you're really not listening on. So the first thing they're actually taking me to is your liver, and they're going. There's a huge. It's interesting, isn't it? Liver flush season. Um, taking me straight to your liver, and they're going, you are you're they're saying, like, they're showing me like you saying I'm fine when you're not fine, and the amount of you're having to lower your standards a lot, and it's causing this hidden resentment, and it's also causing you to hide your successes and not celebrate the things that you're excited about. And it's conditioning your mind to not be happy because it will like make other people unhappy. So let's just release that. Ooh. I think it's actually causing some kind of binge eating as well. So we're just going to bring in Archangel Raphael. Ooh, I can feel that one. Okay. Christina Woods is saying, "Hi, Sky. I just returned from a life changing trip to Egypt. I feel different and that big change is coming. Can I have a reading for my messages coming in with love?" Yep, let me have a look. Okay, so they're showing me two or three things. The first thing they're showing me is that being in all these power centers, these sacred geometric vortexes, these giant pyramids, has returned to you and activated powers that were lost from those lifetimes. And that you are there's part of you that's like afraid of teaching new things. I'm not sure if you're getting guided to teach light language or if you're getting guided to teach um sacred geometric shapes or more rituals or more god and goddess type energy, or even teach Egypt stuff, but it's coming through very strong that you have new teachings, and Archangel Raziel is coming in very strong as well. And there's some very big new archetypes that you've been connected to within that system that are there to empower you and shift you and move you forward. And a lot of it has been around dissolving fear of visibility and dissolving fear of greatness, the fears of leaving people behind. And this is part of it's been coming up as a theme today. So it is hard. It is hard to let go, but it is harder to be stuck. It's harder to be stuck. There we go. Okay. Just have a quick look on here. Oh, sorry guys. I've lost you. There we go. Find you again on the screen. Okay, so I hope that helps, Christina. There was three things. The other thing that came up around the changes, we had the fear of the number three. What was number three, angels? Yeah, number 3 was about momentum. So the angels were saying that you are thinking that this strength is going to be indefinite, and they're saying that it will be indefinite if you take divine action, but that if you don't follow the divine guidance within 2 or 3 weeks, that you'll start to feel yourself returning back, right, to the person you were before the transformation. So momentum is key here. It's important to keep moving. Okay, it's important to keep moving. Okay, Gabrielle Owanka saying, Dear Sky, please can I have some guidance regarding my healing business? Thank you, Gabriella. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the same person. I think that's the same person. Yeah, the same person, different platform. Okay, Paulina saying, Hi, does Kevin love me? Okay, so the answer that I'm getting, I'm going to bring in the romance angels, Archangel Shamuel and his cherubs, but the answer that I'm getting is you already know the answer to this. Like the answer that I'm getting is like it's not looking good. You know, like when the magic 8 ball is like there's some really big red flags here. So there's what your angels are saying is wrong question. It's not about someone loving you. It's about do you feel are you able to love yourself when you're with them? Do you feel good when you're with them? If someone loves you but being around them makes you feel like crap, you shouldn't be around them. If someone loves you and being around them makes you feel small and insignificant and worthless, you shouldn't be around them. So the question when a relationship is in trouble or going through struggle, or we're thinking about dating somebody who might have been, you know, behaved inappropriately, there's definitely an element of inappropriate behavior because Archangel Michael is showing up here super strong, and all of your cherubs have like swords. So I'm like, this is like they kind of want to cut this person out. They kind of want to cut this person away. Um, so they're saying you're asking the wrong questions, and it's coming from you having been raised by women who did not know their own worth, and you having no idea of your own value as a woman, right? And it's like trust me when I say this, and every woman that's learned through personal experience, you don't want to go there. You really don't want to go against your divine guidance and get into a toxic relationship. You'll come out 5 or 10 years later having lost so much time and being even more unhappy than you are now. I know you're unhappy now. Okay, I hear you. Your angels hear you, and they're really showing me, I know you're unhappy now, but this is what you have to face. This is what you're trying to use a relationship to cover up instead of healing it so that you can allow a relationship that's worthy of you, a man that's worthy of you to come in. Okay, but the question you're asking me, does he love me? Like I feel like this person doesn't have the capacity for that. I feel like they're pretty damaged and wounded themselves. But that's never the question a woman that's healed will be asking herself when something's going wrong in the relationship. The question a woman that's healed will be asking herself is, um, do I feel loved? Do I feel safe? Right? If there were infants or children inside this relationship, would they be okay with this behavior going on? Would they feel safe? Would they feel loved? Right? Can I build a life with this man as the foundation? And if the answer is no, no amount, no amount of love is going to put food in your belly. No amount of love is going to undo years of psychological and emotional narcissistic trauma, um, because you're getting love confused with fear. Okay, love can heal all things. But if you go, I'm not going to have a loving relationship, I'm going to have an abusive relationship with this person and call it love, then you're going to be stuck in the wounding forever, right? So you're not in love, you're in wounding. And I'm going to, like, Archangel Shamuel's coming in super strong here. So, oh, so much compassion for you, my darling. But gosh, you're going to have to get strong here. You're going to have to be stronger than this. You're going to have to be stronger than this, or you're going to get sucked into hookup culture. You're going to get sucked into living a life where your femininity and your role as a woman is never valued, where men think they're doing you a favor just by being around you, and it's not going to be because you don't deserve to be loved. It's going to be because you're making bad decisions. So you really need to take some. I wrote a book called Soulmate Shadow Work a few years ago, so I'd recommend you start there, right? And you're going to need something. You're going to need something that goes deeper with you on healing the feminine, healing the goddess wound, so that you are walking the world knowing your worth and you're not willing to negotiate it. Like, your worth as a woman is not on the table. You don't have to prove it by paying for everything or doing everything or taking care of everything. Okay. Anne Williams is saying, "Can I have a reading, please? Is there a future ahead for me and Mike, please?" Oh, the angels are coming in quite strong, and it's a very positive energy, and I'm seeing the star card from the tarot card deck. So yeah, there is a future. This is just an argument. This is just an argument. They're really saying stand your ground, but it looks like there's a future. Um, Consuela saying anything for me. Okay, let's ask the angels. Okay. Okay, what I'm picking up for you is this energy of knowing you're more. There's so so you know you're more. You know you're a spiritual teacher. You know you're a spiritual healer, but this is like a healing around validation and recognition. Whenever we're like, why isn't the world recognizing my gifts? Why isn't the world recognizing who I am? It's because deep down we don't know who we are. And I remember I was in the situation about 2 years ago, and one of my closest friends, he sat down next to me and he said, "You don't have any idea who you are." And I was so pissed because I was already a spiritual teacher and I was already in a position of power. But he was right. I hadn't even begun to tap into God's will for me, God's grace, God's greatness. I was still, I still am. I still downplay my full potential, right? So it's like that quote where it says, "Well, you're worrying that you're not good enough. Other people are threatened by your full potential." That is the energy that's coming up when I'm scanning into you. So this is really about doing healing around you being denied validation and recognition as a little girl. So let's say you're little and you're like, "Oh, mommy, I painted this incredible picture," and your mom is like, "Oh, that's nice," right? Fake praise creates anxiety in the child because they don't have the emotional vocabulary to go, "Yeah, mom, you're saying one thing, but your behavior is telling me that you don't think it's a very good picture," right? They just know something is wrong. And they're like, "Why is mom behaving this way? Does mom not like the picture? Am I actually not gifted? Is there some?" So it can be anything from your psychic gifts to the picture or whatever, right? But it's this energy of my gifts weren't recognized. And it's very common with psychic and spiritual children because very often parents have no idea that psychic gifts even exist. So if you don't know something exists, how would you nurture it? Right? How would you validate it? And then it manifests as us not giving ourselves validation or recognition as adults and not knowing why, right? And that it's where it's not coming from. So we're going to take a moment. I'm just going to bring in Archangel Ariel to help you heal. Ooh. Okay, we're good. Jennifer Morgan is saying, I would love insight on deserving joy. I have spurts where laughing and being joyous feels okay, but most days I feel so blocked from it. Thank you. Okay, let me have a look. So I'm immediately feeling solar plexus back to liver. That's a third person today with liver. So liver flushes is going to have to happen, guys. We're going to have to make this happen. Okay. Okay. So what I'm immediately being shown is a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of being shouted at, and like really we're dealing with like narcissistic mother wounds here, like really, really strong. And this energy of you're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to outshine anybody. You are like, you have to stay small, and it's coming in very, very strong. So the core to be worked on here, it's not safe to be happy, right? It's not safe to be happy. Um, and taking your happiness back because someone stole your joy. One of the pain in the ass things about living with a narcissist is that they will come up to you, like you've been, let's say you've been working all day, they will pick the first moment that you sit down on the sofa to come and go, you're lazy. Or oh, I see you've got time to watch your series. Or oh, I see you're not working out, or whatever it is that they say that makes you feel like you are worthless, right? My mom, when I was the kid, she's not a narcissist, but like I wish, because she didn't let herself rest because she was always working, right? When I would rest after my homework, after my stuff, she would come up to me and go, have you done your homework? Have you done this? Have you done that? She would come up and work through this checklist of, are you worthy of resting? You're not worthy of resting unless you've done your homework. You're not worthy of resting unless you've worked out. You're not worthy of resting unless you've cleaned your room. So there was this whole list in my unconscious mind of, I'm only worthy of rest when everything is finished. You have this list of, I'm only worthy of joy when, right? When I'm the perfect weight, when I've got the perfect grades, when I am a good girl, and that's been transferred onto you. So making it very unsafe for you to feel joy, for you to just be happy. There we go. And it's that energy of when you complain, the person goes, well, why are you complaining? Right? You don't have anything to be unhappy about. You're the problem. And that people particularly do that to children. So let's release this energy of gaslighting yourself, acting like you're the drama queen or you're the problem when you have an issue, instead of being able to have self-compassion or self-recognition. Okay. Okay, Beata is saying, hi Sky, I keep wondering if I should move out of the UK. Could you please ask the angels what they see for me? What country is the most suitable? Thank you. So I am getting really strong. I'm getting Archangel Raphael level confirmation here. Archangel Raphael is also not just the angel of health, believe it or not, he's also the angel of travel. So I'm really getting a very strong yes. And I'm seeing almost a return home. So I'm not I think you're considering either going back to your country of origin, but they're showing me that you would like they're showing me that would be a good move for you. And there's something about starting a family. There's something about a potential soulmate being there. Okay, I'm getting 2 rounds of goosebumps when I say that. And they're also showing me that you're considering a move to America, somewhere like Colorado, and they're saying that that would work too. And I've gotten more waves. And they're saying that this is about you choosing where to start your family, where to build your future, and that having support is a factor here. So you want to choose a place where you are going to be supported, whether you're either building a very strong friend network of people who will be there for you in those, postpartum and when you're, babysitting and things like that, um, and of whether or not that's a sacred thing and you want to be with your family when you go into like family creation mode. But that's the energy that's coming through. It's like, I want to build a family, and I'm not sure if it's going to be like through physical pregnancy or through adopting or whatever, but there's a very strong soulmate family. Boom, I want it. It's gonna, and I need the move for the soulmate, but also a move out of this energy that's coming into the United Kingdom. There we go. Okay, let me have a look. Okay, Tanya's saying, Hiya, hi, beautiful. I have a decision to make and I'm feeling super conflicted. May I have a reading, please? Love you so, so much. Okay, Tanya, let me have a look. Okay, so okay. So we're coming back into this energy of you're not conflicted, you're scared. So you know what the right thing to do is. What the angels are showing me is that we have to heal the prostitute archetype. We have to heal this part of ourselves that's willing to sell our gifts, our destiny, our worth, our time, ourselves, instead of dealing or paying the price of having the boundary, paying the price of that person not liking us or judging us or leaving us or um whatever it is, because that's what's coming up really strong for you, is that you know what to do, but you're afraid. Like, you're afraid of choosing your worth and your purpose, and instead you're gonna, like, you're this close to choosing the person, to lowering your standards. So I've got Archangel Michael coming in super strong here and being like, do not back down. There's a very good card that's coming into my head as well the from one of the oracle card decks, like stand your ground. There we go. Ooh. Getting a lot of female archangels coming in as well. Stand your ground. So when you hold a boundary, right? People will do quite a few things. When you hold a boundary, this is the thing, the people that will have a problem with your boundaries, right, are the people that were getting something out of you not having any. What they may have been getting: free healings, free time, a place to transfer all their pain, right? They were dumping all their pain on you and complaining and complaining and complaining, and suddenly you're not available for that anymore. Money. They may have been getting money to do what they wanted to do, whether that was getting you to pay the bills or getting you to lend them money, or getting them or giving them money for something that they wanted. You may have been making them feel powerful, and suddenly to cover up the powerless wound, right? And then suddenly you have a boundary in place that says, um, I now love and respect myself and you're not getting through. So people that are emotionally mature will be happy for you. People that are still wounded will try and get you to start giving them. They feel entitled to what you were giving them, basically. So they will try and force you to do it. And that might be through financial abuse, emotional abuse, whatever it takes, right? There'll be some kind of attack to make you take the boundary down. And normally it comes in a form of guilt or some kind of punishment. Like, I'm going to punish you for having a boundary, even if you had every right to have that boundary. Anyone that's been through a breakup knows this. Anyone that's had a 2-year-old child, right? Who children at that stage really struggle with boundaries. They're like, have a tantrum because mommy went to the bathroom. So it's this energy of you do not deserve to have a boundary, and it comes in many different ways, right? So let's just release that, because you deserve to have a boundary. And when you actually stand in your power and you go, I'm not backing down, and because you are going, I have my own back, and I know why I'm making the decisions that I'm making, and I am choosing me, right? And I will not allow you to financially abuse me, emotionally abuse me, spiritually abuse me. You have no power over me. You are modeling to them the healing that they need to go through, because they need to get into a point where they are in their own power and where they are not trying to take things from other people, be it energy, money, time, opportunity, because of entitlement, because they know that they generate their own power, so they don't have to take it from somebody else. Right? And then what happens is one of two things. Because you finally master the lesson, the person changes, and it happens pretty fast. Or you end up releasing them. Or you go back, you give up on your boundary and you go back to the toxic relationship. Okay? But let's just, I've got Archangel Michael coming in so strong. So let's just remove anybody that feels that they have the right to your peace, to your time, to your money, to your energy, to your healing, right? Because that's entitlement. These are your gifts. Okay. It's looking a lot better. So I was saying that was really, really powerful. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, darling. I only recently started feeling my inner child's emotions, so I feel like I can connect and heal that part of me. So much, actually making TikTok videos about this, so much of people's illness, so much of people's suffering comes from not knowing how to manage your own emotions. And that comes from being told as a little kid, stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. You're being difficult, you're being melodramatic. Instead, because that's what our parents were taught. That's what parenting was. That's what good parenting was. But they didn't have the evidence and the neuroscience that we have now that basically shows that children aren't capable of neural regulation and emotional regulation like adults, and that you have to sit down next to them and go, dragon breaths with mommy. We're going to do dragon breaths. Are we feeling better yet? And then we have to go into, how do you want to self-soothe and self-regulate? And then once our nervous system is regulated, we can discuss our feelings, right? Okay, there we go. You're very, very welcome. Okay. Hi, Sky. Just a couple of days ago, my knee started hurting. The doctor told me I have mild right knee infection. Okay. Can you please scan? My guides would be, okay, please scan. Any guides would be appreciated. Thank you. Any guidance? Okay, let me have a look. Which knee was it? Right knee. Okay, angels. Okay, so they're actually showing me that they're taking me up to your hips actually. They're showing me this is not about your knee. Your lower back is out, so you need to go and see your osteopath. It's actually your higher back is out, like the middle of your back is out because you're dealing with emotional abuse. It's throwing your lower back out and making you feel unsafe, right? And the way you're walking has been affected, and that's what's causing the knee pain because it's compensating for your posture being thrown off. So go to an osteopath to get yourself clicked in, or there's a couple of exercises on TikTok and YouTube where you lie on the ground and you put your arm underneath you like this and it clicks your whole back in. But we need to put your back in because it's what's causing the knee pain. Infection is anger. So as we we're talking about emotional abuse, lack of, so there is this whole invisible load thing is for real, right? And this whole mummy rage or older woman rage comes from women in particular having to live a decade with all of this extra invisible work that we do going unseen, right? And unvalidated and unpaid and unrecognized, and us repressing and repressing. And when we talk about it to other women, they're like, well, this is just being a woman. And when you talk about it to men, they're like, what are you talking about? It's not hard, right? Oh, I put out the laundry too. Oh, I do the dishes too. And they like do it once a week and you're doing it 3 or 4 times a day and it's taking up most of your life and your free time and your capacity to work out, etc. So this huge um deep ancestral belief that you are the support and that you do not deserve to be supported and resenting the support. This is the other thing that happens is that, for example, when I shifted into paying for appropriate childcare, paying for cleaners, paying for people to take care of me, I had so much resentment because I'd always done it for everybody for free. And I felt like paying people to do it for me was a form of punishment. Like I was being financially punished for wanting to be taken care of or nurtured. And a deep part of me wanted people to do it for me because I'd done it for them, right? But this is the part of us that perpetuates abuse. I had allowed people to use me for years. And now my ego was positing that because I had been used, I should use others. And what the love mind was saying is that every single hour that I worked was valuable and it was worth money and it was worth appreciation and it was worth gratitude. And the fact that I was paying the childcare, paying the cleaner, paying the people around me for their acts of service was me breaking the cycle, right? And also was me honoring, right? Honoring the work that I did because by value, what you give comes back, right? So by me valuing their cooking and their cleaning and their and the childcare the way that nobody ever valued me doing it for them was actually making my demons nervous, right? Because it was going to give me a level of freedom that my mothers had never had, that my ancestors had never had. And it was going to create people around me, a household staff that were loving and felt appreciated and felt wanted and felt financially taken care of. So the darkness in me didn't like that at all because it put me so much closer to my divine life purpose, and it was hiding under this guise of, oh, I'm be paying people is like me being punished and people should do this stuff out of the kindness of their hearts, as if when someone comes and cleans your house it's not out of the kindness of their heart, as if when someone comes and does a healing session it's not out of the kindness of their heart. It's still out of the kindness of someone's heart if you pay them. Right? There's so many things people could be doing other than cleaning a house, other than doing a healing session, other than doing childcare. They choose those professions because they love it. And those are very nurturing, loving professions. You have to be a good person, right, to get into that profession. But this energy of women wanting to abuse other women or thinking they shouldn't have help, and you wanting to other people. I've seen quite a few very successful women who literally emasculated their husbands because they were like, now I'm working, I want him to be the stay-at-home dad, I want him to take care of the kids, I want him to clean the house, I want him to do it all with no help. And I had to literally sit them down and go, yeah, this is revenge. this is not healing, right? And it's going to destroy the marriage, and it's going to humiliate your partner the same way that it hurt you, the same way that it humiliated you. What you're looking for is forgiveness, not revenge, right? Because that's the only thing that's going to give you freedom. There we go. Woo. There we go. That was a big shift. Okay. Okay, we have another scammer, guys. They're calling themselves Psychic Medium Sophie Rodenzo. This is not a real person. This is not a real person. They're not on my team. This is coming from one of the scam pages telling you to message them for a reading. Please don't message anybody for a reading. They're going to try and steal your money. This is fraud. Okay, we've had 4 separate illegal accounts, and we are working with Facebook and with the police to shut them down. But this is another scammer. Please do not respond to them. This is not me. This is not my team. We're going to block them, just so you know. Okay, good morning, Sky. I thank you for all of your love and readings. You are a true angel. I'm having a hard time forgiving myself. What do my angels suggest? Okay, so let me have a look and see why. Okay, so there's a fear here that forgiveness is letting somebody get away with toxic behavior. And then the fear is that if you let yourself get away with things, that you will become abusive or you'll become a bad person. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is not saying that what somebody did is okay. Forgiveness is the recognition that you cannot change a person or change yourself through punishment. You can only change yourself or another person through demonstration. And that's one of the principles in Course in Miracles, right? To teach is to demonstrate. The only thing that we demonstrate when we're in anger, when we're in pain, when we are in suffering is anger, pain, and suffering. So when we are asking ourselves to change, not forgiving ourselves is not accountability, it is punishment. Punishment will create the abuse that you're scared of. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because no being can go through punishment every day and hope to become a better person. And no being can go through punishment every day and learn the skills that they need to learn, the emotional resilience, the spiritual resilience, the skills that we need to master, the emotional regulation in order to become who we are supposed to be through punishment. It's going to require a lot of patience. It's going to require a lot of practice. It's going to require like sitting down and writing down what all your triggers are, and then sitting down and writing down how you want to behave in those situations, and then doing the childhood trauma work and the deep emotional work to make sure that you are no longer responding from past trauma, but you are responding from the present moment. And that takes a high level of emotional and spiritual maturity, and also a lot of spiritual musculature, muscles like patience, muscles like self-awareness, muscles like kindness, muscles like compassion. These muscles aren't made overnight, and they're definitely not made in the presence of punishment, right? So it's about bringing that part of you that you can't forgive in front of you and going, I've been afraid of you. I've been afraid of you. I've been afraid of your lack of integrity. I've been afraid of your lack of worth. I've been afraid of the trouble that you would cause if I let you off the hook. And I've, on a very deep level, believed that the reason you were doing all these things is because you were bad. And now I know that the reason you are doing all these things is because you do not have the emotional or the spiritual um, demonstrated to you. You do not have the blueprint to become something more. And you were never given the love that I'm expecting you to demonstrate, even by me. So we're going to do this differently. I'm not going to be afraid of you anymore, but we are going to sit down and look at the pain and the suffering that you went through that led you to have these values or these character traits together. We're going to heal this stuff together, and we are not going to use our pain as a reason to perpetuate the cycle, but we're also not going to use the fact that we can make a mistake or that we're not going to be perfect as a reason for never forgiving ourselves and keeping ourselves in a virtual prison. We're going to make steady and consistent progress, and we're going to get the therapy booked in, and we're going to start listening to our hypnotherapy sessions. And does that, if that makes sense, that's how you go about doing self forgiveness. Okay, let me do our closing prayer. O great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.